very simple. Just touch people, talk to people, give people an opportunity to hear all the great things that are going on at Nebraska. And that's plain and simple. Just want to get out and see people and talk to people, and it worked out great. Mike's schedule, my schedule, and we're just going to keep on doing it one person at a time.
Did you guys kind of come together with this the last couple of weeks? Or?
We've been doing something like this every year. It's been different iterations, caravans, that sort of stuff. But Mike and I, we meet every Thursday when we're both in town, which is pretty regular. And we were just kicking around the idea of getting out and about. And with recruiting going on, with his coaches on the road, and he's done interviewing all the players one-on-one now, time opened up, so we took advantage of it.
I know you felt you had a good connection with Mike when you hired him, but how have you seen that even evolve over the time he's been here, that relationship?
It's certainly built even stronger. We see and talk to each other almost every day, and he's got a great family. I wasn't kidding. I mean, Dee and I played tennis 3 days in a row out in Arizona, and that was a lot of fun. But you guys have spent a lot of time around him. He's a good person, and the thing that's really exciting is we're working on this football oversight thing together and trying to change some things in the game, enhance it, preserve it in a lot of different areas. He's got a lot of keen insight. And there's a guy who sits around a table with a lot of coaches, like I talked about here today, last Monday in Phoenix, and commands a lot of respect. And so that's a lot of fun as well.
Hey, what's your take on just all the expansion stuff that's heating up again in college football? Being in the Big Ten, you guys are obviously secure, but you hear a lot of talk with Big 12, maybe adding, subtracting, doing a lot of things right now.
Well, it's fun to watch from afar and not really be a part of. But I get it. I get the bigger picture. I've kind of been a part of it, both when I was at Wisconsin and Nebraska came into the league, and then when I went to Miami, we got Pitt and Syracuse in the league, and so kind of seeing it. Bob Bowlesby's actually the chair of the Football Oversight Committee. We don't talk a lot about it, but just following it is intriguing as a sports fan. And that's a unique decision to their league. You got to have a group of institutions that can come together, like the Big Ten, who are like-minded. And hopefully it works out for them. The football side of it, they've been talking a lot about that the last number of months, so it'll be fun to watch it play out. I don't think that whole thing will ever go away on a day-to-day basis, because once that happens, you'll see some dominoes effects with that too. So hopefully the Big 12 gets to a place where they want to be.
On the satellite camp issue with holistic reform, I know you support sort of like a holistic, large piece reform, not piece of it, right? Do you think that ultimately there's going to have to be some give and take between the leagues? In other words, maybe the Big 10 gets something it wants, maybe the SEC gets something it wants in order to make this thing work out?
I don't think there's any question about that. I think you know this. What I've been talking about up to this point is just process. I haven't really chimed in a lot on the merits, other than the basic merits of some of these things relative to, how we evaluate, when we get access, how we sign, those sorts of things. So, but I imagine that when we put everything on the table and do a holistic and comprehensive review, then you can do a little bit of that trading back and forth. But when you take key items off the table, it's hard to really do a comprehensive and holistic review. I mean, really, at the end of the day, we're looking at the entire recruiting piece of what we do and are trying to make it more efficient and effective, not only for the prospects but our coaches. What we ask our coaches to do in the fall and the spring is crazy. I mean, they're coaching our teams and taking care of our current student athletes, but at the same time they're recruiting. They're thinking sometimes more about the next group than the current group that they have on campus, and I want to get more. I want us to think about more balance relative to that, because I think that will make it for a better situation on our campuses. So.
What you seem to be saying there is advocating for a signing date prior to the football season so that they don't have to worry about the guys they recruited from January to September.
I don't know if I'm advocating for it. I think it's all on the table. I want it all on the table to consider what that looks like, and I want to get a lot of coaching input. What I like about what we're doing in the Big Ten is once a month I get on the phone with all of our coaches on a conference call with Commissioner Delaney and some other folks, and we talk about the landscape and we talk about what's going on. And then you get an opportunity to represent the NCAA and the Big Ten at the AFCA trustees meetings, and you hear a lot of these really good coaches who have been doing this for a long time. And all that feedback is important for us to try to get this thing right. But the window is closing. We've got to try try to, with the text messaging thing out there now, we've got to take advantage of the governance structure and the process, and then try to get some reform in the system.
Thanks, Shawn.
Okay, guys.